Would you like to press questions?
What was your reaction when you heard that?
Really?
That was your
Well, I didn't
No.
get a chance to ask
They
you
are?
yesterday, so I'm asking. I'm sure.
Change. I mean, that was my reaction. You guys have heard me say that intercollegiate athletics is going through a transformation and evolution, and we're not done. We're not close. I'm sorry. We're not close to being done from the transformation. And this is the next part of it.
Is there a point where you wake up and you go, this is okay? Or, I don't know, if you reached a point where you've heard news that you've said, okay, we're going to have to make the next move that we've been thinking about making, or there's all this kind of stuff, kind of, if X happens, we'll do Y, etc.
That's not a different way to do it.
What, I mean, how do you reach a point where you have to make a move, and you guys are still sitting around doing nothing, at least publicly?
So does Georgetown reach a point where Georgetown has to make a move? That's the question.
Yeah.
We'll see. I won't tell. Get ready for Tennessee. We do have a game tomorrow. In case y'all forgot.
You have always, though, kind of, when this question has come up, said we still have good teams and good members and we can still be a strong conference, but do you still feel that way as traditional basketball powers are getting replaced by schools that haven't had much success on the court?
See, what I think is important is, I'm a coach of Georgetown. And Georgetown has always been good. Before the Big East, as we have known it, we've been good during this current Big East, and we're going to be good in the future, whatever the future holds. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a fortune teller, but I do know that we will be good. And I think what is important is, particularly this time of year, but you can become engrossed. It's important stuff. You become so engrossed with that you really do forget about Tennessee. And so if you spend X amount of hours over the last 24, 48 hours, whatever it's been, focusing on conference issues, you forget about the fact that Stokes is pretty darn good. We're going to have our hands full trying to stop him. And Trey Golden is outstanding and he does a good job of facilitating. So, it's a part of what we're going through. I think that it's evolution. It hasn't finished. I think that there's going to be more evolution as it relates to basketball-only conference members as well as others. And a lot of those aren't necessarily discussions for public consumption.
Do you feel it's in Georgetown's interest to join the other basketball-centric members of the conference and have their own conference, to form their own conference?
I think that's a question that probably is best answered not by John Thompson. I mean, I think the president's involved with all that, and I wouldn't want to comment in any way that he would not want me to comment right now.
But on some level, you have a view.
You sure?
I'm but that you feel is best kept private.
Yeah, I do. I mean, and that's probably the answer. It's not to say it's just on our president or our deal or whomever. I think that at the bottom line is every school probably right now is posturing as best it can behind the scenes. Sure. And a lot of that's probably best not discussed with you guys.
Have the players come to you about it, or do you have to go to them and say, guys, you're just Tennessee?
Neither. I mean, they know Tennessee.
You look at the rankings, and I know you don't, especially at this time of the year, but, I think somebody asked you in there about, you were trying to figure out maybe early on what kind of group you have. Are you surprised that this has happened so quick to get into the top four?
Yes and no. I think the answer, I think what's more important is we're a long way away from where we are going to be, where we can be. We're a long way away. We have a lot of work to do. And so, the rankings is, a function of who you played and how you looked against that group. But I think it's more important, just we have a long way to go. And so, where you're ranked, and being ranked is important, yeah, because you get more attention when you're ranked. But above and beyond that point, I think it's more important to focus on this group getting better, this group improving, than it is looking at where people have you slotted in what's still in November. And it's still November.
Are you on track where you want to be in building depth in your front court?
No. I think just overall we have to improve our depth all around. Front court, back court, middle court.
Talk about the mix of size and transition ability that Tennessee presents.
Yeah, I think, I can't remember whether I said it here or whether I was in there. They are an experienced team at every position. And the pieces they have at every position are very good. And I say that to say, they have a very good leader. They have a very good point guard. They've got a couple guys that can shoot the cover off the ball. They have an inside presence. And so I think that they're a team that can play at different paces. They can get up and down. They can settle into a half-court game. And probably most importantly, they're a very good defensive team. They make it very difficult to score. And so, we have to be good. If we're going to have a chance to, we're going to be very good at both ends of the court. And just, I guess the nature of the whole, SEC Big East, when you used to go conference to conference, challenges is they are a very good team. That's an experienced team that's used to playing in difficult road venues. And so there's nothing about tomorrow's game is going to shake that group. We're just going to have to be good.
Last couple of days, we've seen the ACC and the Big Ten kind of go at it, and I think it wound up being 6-6. What kind of a pride factor is there when there's a conference kind of challenge like this?
Honestly, I think that may be something that you guys play up more. I think each individual school is worried about who's sitting in front of them, and we're worried about Tennessee.
How important is it for your team not to be sped up by that defensive pressure?